All right, welcome to another episode of Around the County with Supervisor Jim Desmond. I'm Miles Himmel, Communications Director for District 5. And today we've got a special guest, Nick Ceko. He's the owner of the Old California Mining Company restaurant. You've probably heard it, you've probably seen it, you probably drove by it. And so wanted to talk to Nick here today. And I guess let's start here, Nick. What is the last, I don't know, what is it, 8 months, 9 months? What has it been like to own a restaurant?
It's been a roller coaster. You know, you start with the total shutdown. We decided in the beginning to close our doors because I could see it coming down the pipe that we were going to generate enough revenue to sustain paying the staff and paying the rent and keeping the electricity on. So at the get-go, we shut our doors for 8 days. And when I saw that, and we took all the proteins, we shoved them into a freezer, and we decided, hey, we're just going to try to, ride out the 2 or 3 week period or whatever it was. And when I saw that it was not going to be a 2 or 3 week period, I was like, I better get in there and start doing the to-go thing. And so we started doing the to-go thing. I actually, I had some really, really nice staff members that helped out tremendously. They stepped up where, they didn't have to, and they came, and, together we kind of made the to-go thing work. And then they opened us up, and that's been the biggest thing, is that I call it a yo-yo. We're going one extreme to the other extreme, and it's been difficult because people, it's hard to rely on people when you don't know what's going on. And that's been my biggest struggle, is trying to keep everyone happy and making sure that the staff is taken care of as well as the restaurant. And juggling bills, that's been a tough one also. We did receive the PPP money, which was a tremendous help in the beginning, but obviously that money is long gone.
Yeah, and you, unfortunately, you had a fire at your restaurant.
We did. We've been through the ringer for sure.
Oh my gosh, unfortunately, and you got that handled, and you got everything straightened up, and I know it's been difficult for you. How many employees do you have? What
well, before COVID, we had 37. Then we went down to, I think it was 4 or 5 during the first takeout period. And then when we reopened, and it was, social distant, and, I didn't need as many people, I brought back about 24 people total. And then that's what we've been kind of rolling with, minus the yo-yo. Here this last 2 weeks ago, I laid off the rest of the staff again. And I was telling Miles that, that's been a difficult thing, because now holiday season, and it's hard to get them back because they may have already made plans, so going forward it's going to be a little bit difficult, but we're going to make it happen.
Nick, if I could jump in, I wanted to this is kind of a deeper question. Your family, why start a restaurant? I mean, why are you passionate about it?
Well, let me tell you. So I actually was an employee here at the Old California Mining Company. This is about 2005. I was kind of juggling. I was going to school, and I worked construction. I also bartended here at the mining company. And I got to know the owner really well. Him and I became friends. And he knew that I relied on the mining company as an income. And he confided in me and said that he was going to sell the mining company. Well, from that, I kind of, I just was at a point in my life where I needed to do something different than just be a bartender or work in construction. And I actually got my dad to help me finance the restaurant, and him and I bought it together. And I've worked in restaurants my entire life. Since I was 15 years old, up in South Lake Tahoe, I worked at a pizza place. And I knew it inside and out. Granted, I didn't know the heartache I would go through, but restaurant business is definitely not for someone that doesn't want to take on that responsibility. It's a difficult responsibility. A lot of burdens fall on my shoulders, but it's something that I take on, and I take it head on. So I mean, there's the fun times, but there's also the times where things aren't as fun. Like Supervisor Desmond said, we had a fire. Like who sees having a fire? But it's been my life. This place has been my life. And actually, I love our regulars. Our clientele is awesome. The community is awesome. There's a lot of upsides to owning a restaurant. Absolutely.
Well, and then do you have personally, I mean, you married with kids and mortgage and everything else as well?
Absolutely. So getting to that point with this last shutdown, I've been all right. I've been able to stay afloat. This last shutdown, I saw the bank account just kind of shrink smaller than I've ever seen it. And it made me extremely worried. So I decided, this month I'm not going to pay myself. And I have a mortgage, and I did reach out to my bank, and I asked them if I could have some sort of forbearance, which it looks like they're going to grant me, which will be tacked on to the end of the loan, which is fine. But it's like things like that I know that I'm going to have to rely on, because I think money is going to be tight. Absolutely.
Well, even us here, that we get my office, they give us stimulus dollars, and I think with the last round we got like $4 million. But and entities like yourself and others, I think we've had like $150 million in requests for butter or whatever, whatever is in trying to spread the money around. It really doesn't amount to much, and it doesn't really allow you to keep your doors open or pay your employees, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, absolutely. I was a recipient of one of those stimulus from you guys. Every little bit helped. So, that month I was able to pay the rent, and so little things like that definitely have helped.
Nick, so let's jump in. I mean, some good news. It's fluid. It's, who knows, it's kind of back and forth. It's like the yo-yo effect, but good news last night, at least for the restaurant industry, and a judge says that something that we've been saying, that many people have been saying, if you're going to shut them down, you got to show some science to prove it. And so far you haven't, state. You haven't done that. So what's your reaction? And I mean, what's your plan going forward?
So I'm ecstatic. I wasn't ready for it. I don't think anyone was really ready for it. It was, I think I got a text message. It was like 8:30 with actually Supervisor Desmond's tweet. It was a screenshot of his tweet. And, I got chills. I just couldn't believe that. It was like, oh my gosh, this is really happening right now. And I almost didn't want to believe it. So I waited before, I reached out to my staff to see if, I can get them back. But I wanted to make sure that, the information I was getting was correct. And, I'm amazed. I'm happy. Keeping my doors open, keeping money, cycling through the bank account, that's important right now. And I can tell you, to-goes is not cutting the mustard. It's when we're doing $600 days where normally they should be $5,000 days, that's the difference does not add up. So right now I'm actually in the works of getting us open tonight for patio dining. We're not going to sit in the restaurant quite yet. I think I read Supervisor Desmond's his tweet, and it said safe and responsibly. And I think, if I stick to the patio, at least I'll be safe and responsible in my eyes.
Well, good. Did you have any, we had several restaurants, and I'm not sure if you were one or not, that were defying the shutdown order throughout the county. Some did, some didn't. I didn't, where were you on that issue?
So last weekend, I don't know if you can see my shirt because it's kind of, so support local.
Yeah.
We made these shirts. I went on Facebook and I announced that, we basically have no choice but to do some sort of peaceful protest in the open. So last weekend, Saturday and Sunday, we opened our doors to takeout dining. We had no servers wait on any of the guests. All the individuals came inside the restaurant. They purchased their to-go food and beverage, and they came back and they got the box that it came in, the plastic utensils, and they went back out to our patio where they were able to sit and dine and enjoy their meal. It wasn't totally defiant, but it was defiant in the sense they were still sitting on our patio, if that makes sense.
And they could sit in the parking lot on the other side and safely do it and legally do it, but it just your patio was illegal, which is crazy.
We did not receive any backlash from it. I mean, granted, we yelled it on Facebook. It wasn't a silent thing we did. We did it in the hopes that it would get some attention, and it definitely got some attention. And there's people on both sides of the spectrum, people that were upset about it and people that were ecstatic about it. So at the end of the day, I have to do what's best for us, and that was the choice I made to make it happen for us.
Well, and we understand. I understand that the position you're in. I mean, you've got do you have kids?
Yes, yeah, I have an 8-year-old son.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, you've got a son, you've got a family, you've got a mortgage, you probably have a second or third on your house, maybe, I don't know, for the business, and it's difficult, and I understand the position that people were in, and it sounds like you were trying to be safe as possible. It's like, okay, eat outside, don't come in, and I'm sure, and I've been to your place when it was open and legally open, and sitting outside in the patio, your tables were 6 feet apart, and I felt safe and confident when I was out there, and so sorry you had to kind of defy things, but person's got to do what they got to do.
Before we found out about the reopening from the judge last night, I was going to do it again this weekend, and I was going to defy. We were going to call it a peaceful protest. We're going to wear our blue, support local shirts. We actually made a ton of shirts so people actually could buy them, support local. And it's not just about me, it's about the community in whole. Come support restaurants. We need it. Go support whoever you can at this time, because it's been too much for us.
Well, Nick, I appreciate you talking with us. I know you got busy. You got food to order. You got people to talk to. What for people who maybe want to come out today, tomorrow, this weekend, where can they go?
Well, I think we've been doing little specials, especially since it's takeout. Right now we're doing a $10 pasta on Thursdays. It comes with a dinner salad. You can upgrade to some sort of protein, chicken, salmon, shrimp for an additional cost. But little things like that, I think, get people out moving. We got growlers for sale. Domestics are $10. That's rival with like the liquor stores. You're getting 4 pints for $10, which is pretty good. And then we're doing the craft for $20. We're just trying to make things work, and doing all we can is, make sure that we're doing it safe. We're doing, the food that people know and love. We still got all of that. So, if they want to come out tonight and get some good tri-tip, we have probably the best smoked tri-tip in town. So, please come on by.
You do. Well, and that is at the Old California Mining Company in Restaurant Row on San Marcos Boulevard. And what time are you going to be open for dinner tonight?
We're going to open at 3 tonight. We're going to open at 3. We have 2 patios. We actually commandeered 1020, which is the old restaurant that went away last year. We commandeered their patio. So we actually have 2 patios. We have about 20 tables. Socially distant. We have patio heaters. So it's very comfortable. And, I think if people want to come out and enjoy some food out, I think they should come on by.